Hey guys, what's going on? It's the Wrestling King 619 back at you with another video. Now, in this video, it is the return of the Raw and Smackdown highlights and recap. But it will be the Friday before Mania. That's how long ago it was. Because I did not know how to do something on my laptop. Anyway, before we get started, I want to give a shout out to Joseph Madalena 401 WrestlePick on Instagram. It's only right. So yeah, alright, here we go. SmackDown before WrestleMania. I don't know if this happened in order because I was at work Friday night and it didn't record. I'm getting this information from the WWE YouTube channel. So shout out to them too. Rollins comes out and says, Paul Heyman brought the Shield together to protect CM Punk, but I got none of the credit. It was all about Roman Reigns and how he's going to be the next John Cena. And he said for years, all of you guys have been chanting CM Punk, but he only came back for a big paycheck. And when he didn't even come to WWE right away because he was in AEW for a while. While I busted my ass week in and week out. Last Mania, my leg was hanging on by a thread, and my stepdad was dying from cancer. But I still went to Mania to make sure that Roman Reigns lost, and I promised to lay it all on the line to make sure WWE moves in the right direction. And he said, that ain't a prediction, that's a spoiler. Then we go to the Andre the Giant Battle Royale. It was Carlito, R-Truth, Berto and Garza, Pretty Deadly, A-Town Down Under, New Catch Republic, Kaiser, Santos, Otis, Tozawa, American Made, LWO, Ray Phoenix, Karrion Kross, Nakamura, Miz, Andrade, and Carmelo. R-Truth eats Carlito's apple. Carmelo Hayes wins the 2025 Andre the Giant Battle Royal. Now we go to the ring, and it's Bianca, Naomi, Rhea, and Io. Naomi has been calling and texting Bianca, but to no avail, and said that our friendship means nothing to you. Bianca said, you know what you did when you attacked Jade. Naomi said, Jade wasn't there for you like I was. And at Mania, I'm gonna finish what I started. Then Jade Cargill came out, and Naomi rolled out of the ring. Jade was talking to Bianca, but then Rhea cut her off and said, this match isn't about you, it's about me, Bianca, and Io. But then Naomi came back in the ring from behind Jade and beat her up. And then all five of them started beating each other up. Then we go to Randy Orton in the ring saying that Mania is my legacy and my longevity. My father was in the first WrestleMania. 20 years later, he witnessed my debut at WrestleMania. So, I don't care who it is in the back, or if it's any of you guys on the street or in this crowd, I will have a match at WrestleMania, and I will win, and you will find out what the three most dangerous letters in sports entertainment is, RKO. We go to the SmackDown Tag Champions, the Street Profits versus Motor City Machine Guns for the titles. Montez jumped over the ring post, which I don't know how he does that, but then DIY attacked both teams and ran away with the titles, even though the Street Profits are still the champions. It was Chelsea Green versus Zelina Vega in a non-title match. Zelina does the code red on the top rope to get the win, and you would think that she would be the number one contender for her title, which we'll find out is true later. Then it's L.A. Knight, versus Solo Sikoa. But then Jacob Fatu came out, which called for another disqualification and beat up Knight, but then Strowman came out to his rescue. Then Nick Aldis came out and restarted the match, and it'll be a tag team match now. Knight and Strowman versus Solo and Fatu. Strowman pounced Fatu out of the ring and went for the Strowman Express, but sideswiped him and he fell right over the announce table. But with the BFT, Knight would win. Knight and Strowman would pick up the victory. Then outside the arena, Wade Barrett is interviewing Charlotte ahead of her WrestleMania match against her and Tiffany Stratton for the title. Wade asked, "Why is this so ugly between you both?" And Charlotte said, "We both got chips on each other's shoulders, and people are invested in this match." She said that the fans are going to tune in to this match and see how we got here. Then he interviewed Stratton and said, "You're learning on the job," and asked that they both went off the rails during a split screen interview and what happened. She was basically saying that people said that she wasn't basically cut out to be a wrestler, but she said, "I used to feel that feeling and I turned it into motivation." She said, "I played Charlotte at her own game, and she doesn't have to like me, but she damn well has to respect me." He said, "What happens if Tiffy time ends at Mania?" And she said, "I know I'm in over my head, basically, but I know that I am going to be victorious and retain my title." Now it's Rey Fenix, Rey Mysterio, and Dragon Lee versus American Made. Phoenix walked the ropes and kicked Julius Creed. Dragon Lee did the Operation Dragon, and Phoenix did a Meteora to win the match. Then it's Cody and Cena in the same ring at the same time. Rhodes said that Cena said that he doesn't bury talent, he is talent, but there would be a lot of people who would differ. Cody asked Cena if he knew the people's names back behind the timekeepers area and said, "I'm sure if you walked through that curtain too, you wouldn't know everyone either, because this is a different WWE than when you used to run things. I worshipped you, the crowd worshipped you, but John Cena, you are overrated." Cody said it's 2025 and Cena still can't wrestle. And Cena says, "I don't have to wrestle." And he went up for an AA, but then he reversed it into the Crossroads. I feel like if you're not part of Mania, but you're on the Friday before, or the Friday after, or the Monday after, I feel like it still counts too, because it's Mania week and weekend. Now we go to the WrestleMania 41 summary. I won't really be getting into the matches and details and stuff. I'm just gonna say, Night 1, Jey Uso captures the World Heavyweight Championship in a shocking opener. Jey Uso forced Gunther to submit to his own chokehold, claiming the Raw World Heavyweight Championship title, and Jimmy Uso was out there to congratulate him. The New Day defeated the War Raiders to become the new Raw Tag Team Champions. It was a great match. All these matches were good, but I feel like night 2 was a lot better than night 1 though. Jacob Fatu defeated LA Knight for the title, even though he countered Fatu's moonsault with a BFT, but he put his foot on the rope. Next we have Chad Gable. Oh, I'm sorry. El Grande Americano controversially defeated Rey Fenix, who was a late replacement for Rey Mysterio following an injury. He put a metal plate in his mask and did a headbutt, and that's how he won. Tiffany Stratton said what she was going to do, and she successfully defeated Charlotte Flair and retained her title at Mania. Now, it's the main event. It was Punk versus Rollins versus Reigns in the first ever main event of WrestleMania for CM Punk, and Living Color played CM Punk out, of course, with Paul Heyman. At the end of the match, Heyman handed Punk a chair, but then low-blowed him, and did the same thing to Roman Reigns, helping Seth Rollins pick up the victory, and now Seth Rollins is a Paul Heyman guy. Night 2, we have Io Sky retaining her title in a high-octane triple threat match. That was a great match, too. It could have gone either way. McIntyre emerged victorious over Damian Priest in the Sin City street fight, showcasing resilience and intensity. And obviously weapons were used. And Kerry King from Slayer played Damian Priest out to the ring. In a surprise alliance, Becky Lynch returned to assist Lyra Valkyria because Bayley got injured during the kickoff. And together they won the Women's Tag Champions. Dominic Mysterio pinned his own Judgment Day member, Finn Balor, in the Fatal 4-Way match to win the Intercontinental title. Say his name and he appears. I believe in Joe Hendry. Celebrating his 20th WrestleMania appearance, Orton defeated a debuting Joe Hendry, swiftly reinforcing his legendary status. Logan Paul secured a clean victory over AJ Styles, further establishing his credibility in the ring. That would be further from the truth that he won cleanly, because one of his friends was about to give him the brass knuckles, but then Karrion Kross interfered, beat up his friend, and gave the brass knuckles to AJ Styles and wanted him to use it, but he said no. But then from that slight distraction, Logan Paul would pick up the victory. And it was in Karrion Kross's hometown nonetheless, too, Sin City. Stone Cold came out to the ring on an ATV, but I didn't even notice. He literally drove right into one of the fans because he couldn't slow down the ATV. And he was there to say the attendance for night 2 of WrestleMania, which was over 63,000 people. Now, in the main event, John Cena made history by claiming a record-breaking 17th world title, defeating Cody Rhodes with help, obviously, from Travis Scott. I'm surprised The Rock didn't show up. Now it's Monday Night Raw, the night after Mania, and Cena comes out and was basically telling the crowd to go to hell. He said all the fans should apologize, and he's happy to be retiring so he doesn't have to see the crowd anymore. He calls himself the last real Universal Champion. He said there's no one with the strength, speed, or ruthless aggression than me. But then Randy Orton sneaked up behind him like the snake he is and gave him an RKO. They will definitely be rekindling their rivalries. They had 4 rivalries now. And they're best friends in real life too. But then we go to Lyra and Becky versus Liv and Raquel for a title rematch. And Liv and Raquel won back the titles, and Becky Lynch turned on. Becky Lynch was Lyra's mentor, and she turned on her. Then we go back to the ring, and it's Alpha Academy versus the New Day. But then, before the match even took place, Rusev Day returns and lays waste to Alpha Academy, not having the match take place. Then Io comes out after retaining her title, but then Stephanie Vaquer, who is the Women's NXT World Champion, came out and congratulated her and respects her and says that she is one of the best, but she wants to fight one of the best. Io accepts right here, right now. But Adam Pearce comes out and says, Las Vegas, do you want to see the match happen? And it was official. The match is happening, but during the match, Roxanne Perez beats up Io, making it a disqualification, and Julia beats up Vaquer. Then, this is my brutality! Rhea Ripley comes out and beats up Roxanne, and Julia voluntarily leaves the ring. And Rhea handed Io the world title, basically saying, I'm not finished with you yet. Then Jey Uso comes in the ring and says he is going to put the work in to keep the title. Then Sammy comes out and says, for almost 2 months, and getting beaten up by Gunther every week, it was hard on me. I wish I was there, and missing Mania was hard on me too. He said, I almost didn't want to come out to Las Vegas tonight, but I had to congratulate you in person, and said that he is proud of him. He's proud of his oos, and everyone knows that you deserve it. Then Jimmy Uso comes out to congratulate him and reunite with his dogs. Early, Monday, Kathy Kelly asked Logan Paul if he could have won without the distraction from carrying Cross and the brass knuckles, obviously. And he said, as far as I'm concerned, a win is a win. Then asked AJ about the match, and he said he gets his little friends involved, but I will take that L and I know I'll bounce back. Then Karrion interrupted him and said, there ain't no coming back from losing to Logan Paul. AJ said, are you trying to have me be the bad guy like I was last year? Because I hated that. I hated the way I looked at myself in the mirror. If I would have taken those brass knuckles and won, that win would have meant nothing to me. If you want to be angry at the world, fine, but don't take me down with it. Then we go back to the ring, and Gunther is talking to Michael Cole and Pat McAfee, obviously mad, and the crowd is chanting, you tapped out! You tapped out! Gunther pushed McAfee and put Cole in a chokehold. McAfee broke it up, and officials are holding them back. But Gunther escaped and put the chokehold on him and was carried out. Now, I give Pat McAfee props. I give him credit. He literally gets beaten up, and literally the next day, he's on the Pat McAfee show. That's a true legend right there. And I think he single-handedly put wrestling back on the map. Because, see, a lot more people like football, I think, than they like wrestling. Tell me in the comments if I'm wrong. I remember, he he used to be a football player. He's a talk show host. People don't have to like wrestling. People just have to know and tune in to Pat McAfee, and boom. And also, if I remember correctly, Gunther and Pat McAfee were in a faction together for a little bit back in NXT. We go backstage, and Pat is getting medical attention, and it's just Pierce and Cole. Cole said, how are we supposed to give our opinions and do our jobs? Pierce said, I'll figure it out. Take the rest of the night off. And Cole said, I'm not taking off just because some bully beat me up. And the crowd was cheering because Michael Cole has only not shown up for 2 nights in 27 years. One was because of his son's wedding, and another one was because of a kayfabe accident. Now it's Dominic with Carlito, and surprisingly, Balor in his corner. And I say surprisingly because he beat Balor to pick up the victory and the IC title versus Penta, and the title is on the line. JD McDonough returns and pushed Penta off the ropes while the referee wasn't looking. And Dominic did a 619 and frog splash to retain his title. Then, Seth Rollins and Paul Heyman come to the ring and said, I took a wise man from Roman Reigns and a best friend from CM Punk. Then Punk comes out and they're going at it, but Seth gets the better of him. Heyman said, there's only one top star, and his name is Seth freaking Rollins. But beats up Seth and Heyman and tries to spear Heyman, but gets speared himself by Braun Breaker. And also spears Punk, and he's officially the newest member of the Paul Heyman family. He also spears Reigns through the barricade, and Rollins curb stomps both Reigns and Punk. Also, to make the time go by faster, they also did recaps of WrestleMania. The Smackdown after Mania showed the debut of Fraxium versus Los Garza, and my friend knows Axiom. It was a good first match for Fraxium, and they are very energetic, especially Nathan Frazer when he literally like runs the ropes at supersonic speed. Next up, Cena is in the ring, and just like last Monday, the ring announcer had to reintroduce him because he didn't do it enthusiastically enough. Then Randy came out. Cena said to Orton, the reason why I don't have kids is because I spent the last 25 years raising yours, meaning the crowds. And I've been a better parent than you guys will ever be to your kids. And a 6-year-old literally gave him the finger. Randy came out there because he challenges Cena at Backlash. There was more to the segment, If you guys want to see the whole segment, it's on WWE YouTube channel. Then Stratton came out and said, I went toe to toe with one of the greatest of all time, Charlotte Flair, and still the champion. Then Jade came out and said, your match was very impressive, but you still have a target on your back. And now that I'm through with Naomi, I'm coming for you. And she accepted right then and there for the title too. But during the match, Naomi came out and beat up Jade, which called for a disqualification. Obviously, Stratton keeping the title, which I feel like Stratton obviously had something to do with that because I don't think she would beat Jade by herself. But what I don't think she planned was for Nia Jax to come out and beat her up. Then Jacob Fatu and Solo are in the ring and was basically saying that since I'm the new United States champion, there's no stopping me. Then Knight came out and said, I drop you on your head, but you got the rope and was able to beat me. Good on you. I give you credit though, it was one hell of a match, but he wants a rematch right then and there. Then McIntyre comes out and says, I was going to challenge Cena for the title, but Randy got him first. Cena is a punk. And I want to fight the true champion on SmackDown. I want to go head to head with you, Fatu. LA Knight said, are you done yet? And then Drew said, Knight, your last title run was a joke. And Knight one-upped him by saying, yours too, if I could only remember it. And this is my time, and if you got a problem, McIntyre, then do something about it. Then Aldis comes out and says, Knight versus McIntyre, and whoever wins is the #1 contender. Then it's Chelsea Green versus Zelina Vega for the Women's United States title. And Piper and Alba are obviously at ringside, beating her up when the ref's back is turned. But the referee catches them both and ejects them both from ringside. But with the code red, Zelina would win and would win the title. And she is the new United States champion and her first singles win too. Then we go backstage and Miz gifts Carmelo a big gold necklace for winning the Andre the Giant Battle Royal. The necklace has Andre's face on it. And Carmelo says, when I wear this, I see him in myself. I am the 7-foot giant. I am the 10th wonder of the world. I am him. Then Miz comes to the ring and is complaining that Joe Hendry was Randy's opponent. He's a meme. Which, I mean, I do get it. He's a meme. He's a troll. I'm sick of people showing up to WWE. I'm a bigger star than all of them. Then the lights go out. They came back on, and Aleister Black is back and knocks out Miz with the Black Mass. We go backstage, and Saxton is interviewing Belair on her match at Mania. She injured her hand. She said, things might have not gone my way, but I'm proud of what we did in that match. But Rhea found a way to slide her way into the match and still did not win. And when I return, I have unfinished business. We go back to the ring to McIntyre and Knight. It was a good match. McIntyre was setting up for the Claymore, but Priest beat him up, which called for another disqualification and put McIntyre through the announcer's table with the South of Heaven. Then Knight and Priest are face to face, and Knight's mad because he costed him a chance for the title. But then Fatu wrecks both of them by diving through the ropes and beats up Priest and Knight. We go backstage to John Cena and R-Truth, and he's happy he won the title. He said, you're my hero from the beginning to the end. And then Jimmy Uso was there, and R-Truth said, there's two sides to every story, and when I grow up, I want to be just like him. And he left. Jimmy yelled, you're already grown up! Now it's the main event. A triple threat tag ladder match for the SmackDown titles. DIY versus Motor City Machine Guns versus Street Profits. And Ciampa had to shave his beard due to a cut. Gargano gave Montez a flatliner off the ladder. Montez flipped over the ropes and put Ciampa through a table. Ciampa got him back by giving him a white noise through a ladder. Motor City Machine Guns did their skull and crossbones move to Gargano through a table. Ciampa was hanging from the titles, and Dawkins speared him mid-air through another table. Gargano and Sabin were exchanging blows inches away from the titles, but Montez climbed the inside of the ladder and knocked them both down to retain the titles. And that's how Raw and SmackDown and Mania happened this past week. Alright, please like, comment, subscribe to my YouTube channel, and I have an Instagram page now. It's called everything_wrestling. And it's basically like memes and like history and facts and stuff. Yeah, so please like, comment, subscribe.